And there we go. Oh, did the microphone? Yeah, good. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to tonight's live stream. For those of you following me on YouTube and who watched Hello Dave yesterday, you will know that I had a pretty busy weekend. Been at work most of the weekend, so I haven't had much time to catch up on videos, and I was already behind. So today's just gonna be a short, well, probably not the same, probably the same length as usual, but it's gonna be a test at least of a non-engineered mining build that I'm working on. I very recently, like a week ago, I think, I launched a video on the mining Clipper, which of course is a full engineers, fully decked out mining ship. First of all, it's the Clipper. It's locked behind a reputation rank that you need, and then there's a lot of engineering on it. So I'm working on a build that's a little bit more accessible, but is almost as good, I think. And that's what I'm gonna try. Try today. And as Robert has already pointed out in chat, clearly not my regular account. Barely 100 mil. That's also why I'm running on this account. This is my old account. As you can see here, mostly harmless, pretty much no ranks here. I have a little bit of rank with some of the factions, I think. Where did they move that? I can't even. I don't even know anymore. Status, reputation, session log. But where on earth did they put that? Hollow Me, Codex, Squadron, Galactic Powers. Okay, I don't even know where they moved that. Your reputation with the various factions. Okay, I'll have to figure that out, because this is just ship stats. Anyway, I'm getting sidetracked here. Plan today is to status second tab. Oh, it is actually in here under Galactic Powers. Okay, you just mixed it in with Power Play. That's a little odd, but fair enough. Yeah, you can see my ranks with these guys. Well, yeah. Not the best. Not the best at all. Anyway, but thanks for pointing that out. I'll need that in the near future, I think. Anyway, plan today is to go out, mine, test it out here on my alt account. I can quickly run over the build in case someone's sitting out there and thinking, I would really like myself a non-engineered mining build. And especially if you like the build after the stream, then of course you have also the option to go and build it yourself. But as always, when I do these flight tests here, a small disclaimer, this is a completely untested build. Well, not completely, I have been testing it a little bit. It is an almost untested build. I haven't been doing much with it. So I might still do some changes to it. And therefore, the link that I just posted, both YouTube and Twitch, is a work in progress build. Changes might be done to it. I don't know. But I've been mining out here from Ivan's depot, but I think that the void opal prices are way down now. Yeah, look at that. That's no good. So we're gonna have to find ourselves another spot to mine. And I'm just gonna quickly open up Inara here. I'm gonna put it over here so you guys can follow along as well. There we go. Maybe, yeah, that should be okay. Actually, zoom in a bit here. So we go into Galaxy here. Whoop, Galaxy. And commodities. And we are interested in mining void opals. So we're going to go in here. Best sell locations. And it should already have distance from the nearest system. I think it should have updated that. I don't know. So we have Brunel Vision. It's quite far away. It's maybe not that bad, actually. Everything is quite far away. What about that one? That's pretty close. I just don't want to go too far. Okay, it seems like we're not going to get a lot less than 100 light years. But as if you've seen my... what is this? What is that icon? Is that a surface outpost? Is it a ship? I don't know. Anyway, if you see my video on picking the optimal mining spot, you'll know that it's not always the best idea to go to the closest station. Even though you can actually see here just by opening up some of these systems. If I just take like the top systems here, I can probably see here 320 ships in the last 24 hours. There's been a lot of traffic here. 10 ships, so that's possibly good. 8 ships. 0 to 5. You can see that just the top one, that's where everybody's going. So just by going down to this system here, and I'm gonna go for a medium one because that should make it like at least filter out all the bigger ships. So I think this is gonna be to be our system that we're gonna go for. Yeah, it's not that bad. Distance is okay. You know what? I think this is gonna be it. Let's sit over and see if we can find ourselves a place to mine as well. Gonna use EDB. Yes, we are motherlode mining, and we're gonna find icy rings in a pristine system, and reference system is just gonna be our cell location. Okay, let's see what we get here, and I'm gonna try to find a system that's probably not too crowded, because again, I want to find something that is not too far away. Like, what about this system here? That system, that system, that system. Just picking up some here on the list. See what we got in this system here. You know what? This could be a potentially pretty good candidate. So, you know what? I think we're just gonna go and stock up, and then we're gonna head straight out to the mining spot. Persistent doesn't matter. I'm not so sure about that. I mean... Oh, I still have some limpet from last time. I agree that the number of fragments you get seems to be the same, regardless of the rarity of the ring. But I haven't done enough testing on it that I can be 100% sure. But it seems to me that going into a pristine ring gives you a higher percentage on the single fragments than you do in the lower one. That was at least my preliminary testing. But again, I haven't gathered enough data on it to actually have a conclusive answer to that. So I'm just still working under that assumption. And since we have one so close, why not just go for it? I know a lot of people say that it doesn't matter. And as I said, I'm not so sure. So I'm still sticking to pristine rings. Now, the jump range of this ship is not wonderful. Let's see. How many jumps do we have? 11 jumps to go how far? That's gonna be an issue, though. 100. God. Okay, well, we better get it going. Getting so used to flying ships over my main account where I rarely undock in anything that has a jump range less than 40 light years. Kevin asked, can the fundamentals of this build be applied to a cutter? I Yeah, sure, but if you're going with a cutter, you probably want to engineer it. And in that case, I would probably recommend that you go and have a look at my my mining clipper. Yeah, clipper. I always mix those two up. My mining clipper build. As a Brett goes, you're spoiled now, Astro. Yep, that's very true. That build, I posted a video about it. Go to the channel and find that. That build has all the engineering and is already an Imperial ship, so it might be easier to scale it up. But you will, if you compare the build they just posted and the Clipper build, you will know they have a lot of similarities in them. I follow a lot of the same. The module loadout is almost the same. But again, you can go for a cutter. I personally don't prefer the cutter that much for core hunting, mainly because it just drifts too much for me. It's too big, it's too clumsy to move around. I'd rather have something more nimble. It doesn't have to be crate level of nimble. That's why I really like the Clipper. The cutter is very heavy, very, yeah. So the Clipper build is definitely my favorite. But again, I do appreciate that there are some people who don't have access to the Clipper and don't have access to all the engineers and can fully deck out a build. Which is why I'm running a test on the Python. And just for you guys who don't ask, wait, where is he? Oh, there he is. I was about to say, where's Carlos? But Carlos is hiding over there. Exactly, you can land on medium pads, which gives you an edge when it comes to selling, and it gives you more options when it comes to actually locating a mining spot. But again, we are losing some straight line speed, we are losing some maneuverability. I have the same cargo hold, so it should be able to mine, at least like get around the rocks pretty much as quick as you could in a Clipper. But the travel time between them, the rocks is gonna be longer. Oh, and look what I got. Cookies. Oh. Yeah, I agree. I agree with what Dave is posting here, saying that he do like the Python, but you do need the thrusters and the FSD. I mean, the FSD range on this ship, as we've just seen here, it's not great. 15 light years. So I would definitely think that some of the first thing you should upgrade on a ship like this would be the 3-inch drive. Thrusters, yeah, that's okay. I mean, I can work with them the way they are, but they're really nice if they would be upgraded. But definitely FSD would be my my first place that would go and upgrade the ship, because the 15 light year jump range is just horrendous. Do you accept the cookies? Press OK. Exactly. Okay, we do have fuel stars coming up. 1, 2, 3 jumps. Okay. We just had a string of non-scoopable stars, so just wanted to make sure that I actually had a scoopable star in my route here. Okay, this looks scoopable. I do have a fuel scoop. Because the jump range of this ship is so bad, I have purposely built in a fuel scoop. This build without a fuel scoop just wouldn't work. Without a fuel scoop, you have, what, 100 light years of range? that's not even enough to get you to a mining site and back. If you also want to have some fuel to actually keep your ship flying in the 2 hours or so you're going to spend in the belt. So I think a fuel scoop on this build is absolutely mandatory. But look at this. I mean, let's try to dive a little deeper. It's actually managing the heat pretty well for a stock ship. Let's try to go see how the heat levels are if we max out the fuel scoop here. And should be almost there. There we go. Fuel scoop is now maxed out. I'm just gonna stay here just to see where the heat settles in. It does rise. It's gonna go above 80, I think.
Warning, temperature critical.
Don says, you don't have orbit lines? Nope, I don't have orbit lines.
Frameshift drive charging.
I prefer them off. Okay, peak cooling is at 67%. Okay. So it would eventually overheat, but it was definitely managing the heat pretty well, I think. Yeah, that's right. The limpets on board doesn't help much for the jump range either.
Frameshift drive charging.
Okay, still 4 jumps. Come on!
Frameshift drive charging.
Oh, I really have to get used to flying around on an account without everything is engineered and have a whole station full of pre-engineered modules. It's quite interesting sometimes.
Fuel scooping. Fuel scoop disengaged. Frameshift drive charging.
Three more jumps. How big is the fuel tank actually compared to the FSD? It seems to have a pretty big fuel tank. And it's not using very much fuel per jump. Maybe that's just how the ships actually are. I'm just used to it. Can I have the... No, I don't have the build. Hold on. Let me just get this direct capture. Performs a little bit better. Looks better. There we go. Let's get this thing fueled up again. So, I mean, if you're just doing the normal, as I normally do, just scoop and jump. I can easily scoop more fuel than I need for the jump. So I have a net plus in fuel consumption here, or fuel collection. And I wasn't even hitting 70, so that's actually pretty good. At least heat-wise, it's a really good build. Just get that core hunt up here, you can see. No, okay, it's the same size. It must just be because when you engineer it, it consumes so much more fuel, I guess. One more jump and plenty of fuel. Good. Okay, finally in system. Let's get out and let's see if we can find ourselves some void opals. I'm not I'm not necessarily going into a if they don't have a void opal hotspot. I'm just gonna drop into the ring. Oh, that's nice. This is a very small ring.
Disengaged.
And just verifying here, it is indeed icy. So let's get our asses out there. A lot of rings around the non-gas wells. Are there pending applications? I don't think there's any pending applications to D2EA. I was looking before the stream. Okay, there's one now. But there wasn't before. Prezi 2. I guess Prezi got an alt account. Don says, really having a hard time finding the opals. The colors throw me off somehow. I've actually began using the colors less and less. I use them as guidance, but I rely much more on the shape of the asteroids than I do on the color. I mean, I know a lot of guys says, oh, it just has to have green lines, and some says it needs to be black lines, and that's okay, but that doesn't help you spot them from long range, because the long range, they will look fairly faint if you spot them at really long range. You can only see those green and black lines once you get really, really close to it. And at that point, I can already see the shape anyway. So I pretty much only use the colors to kind of nudge me in the right direction where I might find something. And when I get there, when I get into medium and close range on a rock, I begin to use the actual shape on it much more than anything else. Why I'm mining here exactly? Well, I try to find a spot that haven't been mined too much. So I just assume that this is going to be a decent site. Because uninhabited system, it's close to a station. It's not the closest ice ring to a station. So I'm trying to get a little bit off the beaten path. Now I can already see some problems with this ring here, but we're going to use it anyway. It's very, very thin in some places. So we have a very narrow band here in the middle. Oh, sorry, at the inner edge, that's probably dense enough. But overall, this ring is not very dense. As you can see. I'm just taking a tour here. We want to go into some of the lighter bands here. And ring. Oh, so this is actually just nothing.
Surface scan complete.
Ah, that's interesting. Okay, let's see what we got. We got a few Alexandrite hotspots. Let's not go in there. So what I'm gonna do instead is I'm just gonna drop into a random spot here. And we're just gonna mine off that. I mean, yeah, sure, ideally you would want to find opal hotspot, should give you a higher chance, but for the purpose of testing, it doesn't really matter if we're mining void opals or if we're mining whatever. That's only when we're doing money. For the purpose of testing the build, we could mine pretty much anything. It would be pretty much the same. So Okay, it's actually dense enough down here. That's not too bad. Let's see if we get any visitors here. Oh. Where's my lasers? There they are. Okay. What do we have here? It looks like a wing of 2 ships. Crate Mark II. Competent crate. Yeah. And another crate. Now, I don't have a whole lot of shield in this, and I'm not sure if I'm confident enough in the ship here. I mean, 500 something shields, not a lot. 1 expert, 1 competent. 2 crates. Odds are not really stacked in my favor, so I think I'm just gonna let these guys go on their merry way. They have scanned me, so I allowed them to scan me. So now I should be able to just run away from them. See, exactly as P3 Cole says here, I personally look for rings close to the best cell station, and so is everybody else, and that's why you might have a hard time sometimes finding cores, because there are 100 other commanders sitting in the same ring in solo, mining it away. That's why I went to not the top station, I went a little bit down the list, and on that planet, I went a little bit away from that, so I didn't take the closest ring, I went a little bit out of the way to get some distance. Okay, let's begin pulse waving. There's actually some of the rocks here that looks pretty promising. Apart from that, they're not lighting up at all. Okay, ship. Let's get some night vision here. Wow, it's really, really empty out here. Are resources shared across all play types then? Yeah, at least that's what Frontier is saying. That if a lot of players are mining the same ring, even across various game modes, then the resources will deplete. You will get a lower and lower chance of getting rocks to spawn with cores in them. There's something there. This might not be bright enough. Or is it? We're getting to a range now where beginning to identify this by sight is a lot more efficient, and it looks pretty promising to me. Shape looks about right, and I think I can see some of the right there on the right hand side, right on the center of the arch. That looks like a fissure, if you ask me. Or is that that's a surface deposit? But I think this one should be pretty good. Let's try to fire off a limpet, see if we're lucky. Lo and behold, granitite.
Asteroid scan complete.
Low strength. Oh, this is really rotating quite quickly.
Detonation sequence initiated.
What do we have down here? High strength. Not ideal. Oh, there's another low strength. Where's that? On the other side. Okay, pretty close now. Let's get one of those high strength ones. If we have anything else close by. We have one here. What is that? High strength. Perfect. And we're good. Let's get ourselves some distance.
Detonation in 10 seconds. Programming limpet drone.
And as I said, some people said only void opals and low temperature diamonds. Yeah, that's... normally I would probably also be a little bit more picky with what I'm picking up here. But because we're just doing a mining test, just to see how the build performs, it doesn't matter what exact materials we're mining. Just doing it to try and test out the build here. That missed. Got it.
Limpet drone error. Deploy cargo hatch. Cargo scan deployed. Collector limpet expired.
Oh yeah. Back to the usual with collector limpets suiciding themselves.
Collector limpet expired. Programming limpet drone.
Did I miss that? How did I miss that? Okay, maybe I can hit it now. There we go.
Collector limpet expired.
Okay, it's hitting something. I can't figure out which rock it is. There are too many of them still. So to keep an eye on them. Oh yeah. Let me just move myself over there. So hopefully I'm not that much in the way so you can see that. I keep forgetting. I even set up a special scene for it. Flybill says that collector limpets die off real quick. There could be two reasons why. If I target this fragment and I launch a collector limpet, they will go for that fragment and then they will self-destruct. So make sure when you launch your limpets that you have nothing targeted. And that's one reason. The other reason can be the limpets simply suiciding on a rock. Sometimes you will have fragments. Like in this wall crevice here. You would have fragments sitting in here, and when the limpets try to pick them up, they smash into the rock and die. And in that case, you either just leave that fragment, or you go in and you poke it out with the nose. Something the Python's really good at with that pointy nose of the ship. You can go in and scoop out those fragments. So we have one here. Where's that going? Sort of catch up to it. Oh. He learned to fly around rocks, that's nice. Did he pick something up? Oh yeah, he did. I think one of them died again. See where he's going. If he's destroying himself. Whole bunch of fragments here. I never actually took a close look on these. I mean, it's not the highest quality texture, but I mean, I don't think people would normally go this close and have a look. Cool. There's some rock stuck somewhere that's killing my limpets. Okay, there's only the ones up here, so I'm gonna move myself a little bit closer. Oh, look at that. It's not... Thanks a lot for the follow on Twitch. It doesn't really have the right shape, that one, so I'm not even gonna bother. Hold on. Oh, I missed one. Can't have that. See if we can spot anything. There's definitely something glowing over there. Let's head over and have a look.
Cargo scope retracted.
If it's the big one, it's not... Thanks a lot for the follow on Twitch. I think no. Unless it's hiding behind this rock. I think... Oh, it's that one there. That could look about right. Kind of the right popcorn shape.
Programming mission drone.
Nope.
Prospector method engaged. Asteroid scan.
Nope. Definitely not the right shape. Thanks a lot for the follow on Twitch. See, that one's too smooth on the surface. Something hiding over here. Hold on. There's something over there. Gonna go and investigate that. Pretty sure I spotted that one there. Oh, it's a little bit difficult to see now.
Programming mission drone.
Could be it. Alexandrite? I'll take it.
Asteroid scan complete.
High strength. Okay. Okay, there's a low one. Then the opposite side.
Detonation sequence initiated.
Got another low one. One problem I do have with the Python is it doesn't yaw very well. So you really have to use your pitch a lot more than I would otherwise. Okay. Compensate a little bit too much for the shape of a... There we go. Oh, got it.
Detonation in 10 seconds.
Boom. Never gets old. Never gets old.
Cargo scoop deployed.
Hey, give that a little bit of time to open up. Yeah, exactly. Let it open up a little bit more. Ah. Can I hit it from here? Nope. I just need to be careful not. Try to keep my belly clear so that the limpets don't accidentally jump in or fly into some rock somewhere. There we go. When will they patch exploration? That's anybody's guess.
Collector limpet expired.
Is mining still monoload, or have FD actually fixed mining's gameplay mechanic? Nope. It's still just hunting calls. Okay, just verifying that we're done here. We are. Let's point ourselves in approximately the right direction. Try to do a scan. It's often good to do these scans from within the cloud from the exploded asteroid. It gives you a... Okay, you can actually see now I have one over here, just over here to my left, and there's also one further ahead, slightly to the right. It looks interesting. Start by looking at this one. This looks quite promising. Don't think this one has cores in it. Or maybe. It's not quite bright enough, but if in doubt, sacrifice a limpet. That's why we bring plenty. Nope. Oh, something over here. Is that it? Yeah, that's definitely not. That's definitely not one.
Asteroid
Hold on, is that asteroid or is that a residual one? Is that the glow from another one? Hiding behind this one here? Maybe? No. I think that one's too small. This is where those 500 meters a second boosts on the Clipper is so nice. It definitely has surface deposits, but I don't think there's any core deposits. No. Nope. Oh, what was that? $25 tons. Don't think so, but let's test it. Nope. Can't seem to find anything. Oh, something's hiding back there. What are you? Not what we're looking for. Is any of those that might be interesting? No. R2B, thanks a lot for hosting. Or is there? Hold on. No. I doubt this is one. Though sometimes these scans really give us odd results, I think. I don't think this looks like one that has residual, like that's being illuminated by something else. Oh, maybe I should actually target by prospector. Hold on, I have a theory. I'm just gonna try to scan this one. No. Oh well. It just looked like there was some radiation coming off that asteroid, but it didn't show up on the radar itself, so I'm wondering if there was a glitch with it. Okay, there's a lot of rocks up ahead, so let's keep heading in this direction. Okay, there, I think we have one. Good evening. Nah, okay, no, this is not the right shape at all. Or is it? Okay, apparently it was. From that angle, it just didn't look like it was... Like, the peaks didn't look big enough. Oh well. The ones in metallic rings are a lot easier to spot, I think. Okay, let's begin to prep this one.
Detonation sequence initiated. Detonation in 10 seconds. Programming limpet drone. Programming limpet drone.
And cargo hold open.
Deployed.
Oh, I already had the abrasion blasters. There we go. Hold on, I think there was a rock over here. Okay, it's okay. It's just that spinning one. Don't want to get too close to that. Yeah, it's always so satisfying to watch these things blows up. It never gets old. I mean, so far I'm really liking the Python, the unengineered one here, but the only thing that I kind of wish was, again, more speed, more maneuverability. Especially to show yaw. Look at this. Oh, come on. That is really a downside to the ship.
Collector limpet expired. Programming limpet drone.
Still a lot left. Yeah, still 4. There's 2 over here. How are we doing? Okay, that's pretty clear down this area. So I think we're gonna go in here, getting access to these. There we go. There's one over there. On the opposite side. Again, try to keep our belly clear here. Maybe I should put pips to engines. That would help a little bit. Pitch and roll, yes, pitch and I try to do as much pitching and rolling as possible, but yaw is also necessary. Whee! Oh, that was close. Let's move up to the fragments up here. Just helping out our limpets a little bit. Okay. park it here. Let's begin to scan for the next rock. Oh, wow, look at that. I think that one there in the middle could be one.
Cargo scoop retracted. Programming mission drone.
Yeah, no. Don't think that's it.
Prospect eliminated.
Oh, shit. There we go. David, thanks a lot for the subscription on YouTube. We have a small one down there.
Asteroid scan complete.
But I definitely think for when the build guide on this ship actually comes out, eventually, I would definitely recommend upgrading FSD and thrusters as soon as you possibly can. Also because it's some of the easiest upgrades to get. I mean, grade 5 thrusters are a bit of a pain because Payton, but that's a rock. It doesn't have enough of the pokey things, so I don't think. And I'm killing my own limpet.
Programming mission drone.
It's too smooth, I think, but I've been fooled before.
Prospect eliminated. Engaged.
Hold on. What about that one?
Asteroid scan complete. Programming mission drone.
I know you can use it to see fractures. And I actually did recommend it in my how to find motherlode that you look for the fractures, but I found that I'm carrying so many limpets that it doesn't really matter. I'll just fire limpet and see what comes up. I mean, what I would normally do was if I have one here that's like, it could be one, maybe it's not. So I'm just gonna fire off a limpet, and as soon as it's out, upwards thrust, pitch down, wait for the limpet to overtake me, and then move on. Oh, and in that case it actually had something.
Asteroid scan.
So when just mining casually, just fire off a limpet whenever you have something that just vaguely looks like it could be a crackable asteroid, and then fire one off and then see what happens. I found that to actually be a lot faster in the end because you don't waste so much time sitting looking at the asteroid. I mean, if you can spot them at long range, you don't have to actually go there. Of course, that saves you a lot of time. But if in doubt, just fire off a prospector. I mean, you should have plenty.
Detonation sequence initiated.
Wow, okay. This one we need to be careful with. I think I'm gonna go and put a low yield in an average. That should get us right up to the edge of the blue line. And then maybe a low yield and a high should get us there, I think. That was a low yield in an average. Well, see if we can find a high. Almost. Can we just find any crack right now? Doesn't matter. There's one right there. It's an average. That wasn't enough? Really? Okay. This thing has a lot of explosives inside it.
Detonation in 10 seconds. Cargo scoop deployed.
Oh, I never get tired of that. It's a little crowded, this area. Gonna find some room here. If we move up here, maybe then we can actually get a little bit of room to work with. Yeah, much better. Ah, was a bit of a long shot. No pun intended. Daniel, I don't think this has anything to do with the side of the asteroid. I think it has more to do with the fact that the asteroids have different health levels, so it's not the same every time. Which is, I'm pretty sure that's something Frontiers implemented to prevent us from just saying, like, low average or something like that. So people would have to actually put a little bit of there would be a little bit of player skill involved in it. I don't think the actual placement on the rock has anything to do with it, but I might be wrong. But I personally think, see, this one is a dangerous one. See how that rolled down the edge there? Okay, good. It managed to get it. How many are left? Oh, there's a lot left. Oh my god. Oh, go. Okay, here we go. Let's get out there. Whee!
Collector limpet expired. Programming limpet drone.
And gone with you, and you as well. Okay. Still 3 left. Oh, we have a good view from here. I think that one managed to get clear. Have voidables dried up finally? No, not at all. There are still plenty of them around, but I'm not mining for profit today. I'm just mining to test the ship build, so I don't really care what I'm mining. So I'm just mining whatever I can find. Again, because it's just a build test, it doesn't matter. But normally I would try, if I were actually doing this to make credits, I would, of course, trying to get as many valuables as possible. Right now we just dropped into a random ring. We're not even in a hotspot. Do we have a link for the build? I can very quickly make one. But again, do remember that, again, this is a test flight of the build, meaning that it's not a finished build. I might do changes to it. But this is the one that I'm flying today. And again, as I said, I must stress, this is a test build. And changes might be made to the build. What? Oh, I thought of a prospect. I wanted a collector. Is that one close to... Or can it actually get it? Okay, it got it. Yeah, there's a bit of luck, but you can stack the odds in your favor. By trying to avoid to go to the builds where there's already been mined a lot. Oops. Wrong firing group. Pulse lasers. Not pulse lasers. Pulse wave scanner. Okay. Let's scan this a little bit here. What can we see? Not a whole lot, to be honest. Oh, hold on. I thought they fixed that bug with fragments spawning inside asteroids. See, this one I don't think is one. But as we said before, just fire one off, target it, and then move on to the next one. There was one here that looked a lot more promising. That one. Boom, there we go. Okay. Let's see here. Low. Good. Can we find another low? Yes, we can. Over here. Okay, I don't know if they've... Somehow, fragments end up inside asteroids. How they actually get there is not important. Magic. No, quantum tunneling. Boom. This build okay for fighting off NPC pirates. I haven't been fighting a lot of NPCs. You can take out smaller ships. I had 2 crates, crate Mark II spawn, when I dropped into the ring. Probably wouldn't do anything with those. But smaller ships, sure. I mean, we do have some firepower to take care of at least smaller bad guys. Or, I mean, if it was a single crate, then I would definitely have been taking it on, because I think I can take a single crate in a ship like this. Granite. I think that should be all the granitites. Yes, now they just need to go and collect. So I'm gonna go in here to the center and make it a little bit easier for my my collectors to do their stuff. How are we doing for cargo here? We haven't found a single void opal today. It's been only like sandrite and granitite, which kind of sucks. I would definitely say that if people still flying around in Asp Explorers, I would take a Python for mining over an Asp any day. I know people are doing it because it's the Abrasion Blaster bug, but today, when that's no longer a thing, I would take a Python any day. Okay, we're almost done here, so let's begin scanning for the next target.
Programming limpet drone.
Good, it's time to go.
Cargo scoop retracted.
Yeah, okay, that's probably not one.
Prospector limpet engaged.
What Abrasion Blaster bug? Prior to patch
Asteroid scan.
to 3.3.02, so that's one patch ago. You could have multiple ablation blasters on your ship, and if you fired them from the same firing group at the same surface fragment, you would get up to 1 fragment per abrasion blaster, yielding you a lot more. You can't do that anymore. It doesn't work anymore.
As usual, thank you for entertainment.
Adam, you are very, very welcome. Thanks a lot for the donation. That's awesome. Let's see if we can't find a rock again. It's really not the best belt I've chosen today. We haven't had a whole lot of luck with... Oh, hold on. What's over there? Oh, maybe if I put all pips to engines, we would move a little faster. Looking at that one there, right up ahead. That looks very, very promising, to me at least. Shape looks kind of right. I think this is it.
Programming limpet drone. Prospector limpet engaged.
More Alexandrite. Good. Do we have more lows? We do. Where is it? We're there on the other side.
Detonation in 10 seconds.
Get some distance and let's get this thing blown up. Oh, that's awesome. I never noticed that. Did you hear that? When you did it on the in the external camera, there was no sound until the shockwave hit.
Thank you for always making helpful, entertaining, elite videos.
Migul Kort, I have no idea how to pronounce your name, but thanks a lot for the donation, and you're very, very welcome. Ah, come on. Stop rotating. Damn you, conservation of momentum. Come on. Latch onto it. No. Okay, I think it's, yeah, it's out of line of sight now. Get that one. When we find the next one, I want to try and see it in the external camera mode. See, now this one is really annoying. Stop rotating. There we go. How could I miss that? It's the size of a barn. Just two more. Just give the limpets a bit of time to collect. I can get myself some more water. Or as you guys used to refer to it as, like, a vodka shot. Got bored and went to explore. Oh god. I don't know what it is, but me and exploration has just never been... I mean, I like it for like a week or two, so smaller trips is okay. But when I pass 2 weeks exploring, I'm just bored out of my mind. And I just want to go home. I changed your build a bit. I think it's a little bit more optimized. Feel free to share a link. Oh, you probably can't. Feel free to share a link with me on Discord and I'll have a look at it. Always interested in feedback if people have suggestions for changes. Link for Discord should be in the description. So just send me a PM over there. We can have a look at it. Okay, I think we are almost done here. Just 3 more fragments. One landing there. One on its way back. So let's see if we can find another one so we can try to listen to this from the outside. Nothing. There's one there, but... Ah. I wonder... Oh, you can? Oh, look at this. So I could put this thing, when we're like exploring, I could put this thing just behind the ship here. Like so. I could take the broad field of view like so, latch it onto the ship. Oh, look at that field of view. You didn't think of that, FDev, did you? It's so much easier. I can see everything. Let's fire off a prospector. I don't think it's not the right shape though, but, or is it? Maybe? No. No. Okay, let's try that again. I'm not sure if it's effective because all the time, I mean, unless you're really good at spotting the asteroids. So, oh, no. Lock that onto the ship. That's a neat little trick. And it makes for some great cinematics too. Oh, look at that right there behind. Slightly covered asteroid there. Looks promising. You see that right there? That looks like a... Is that surface deposit? I'm not sure. Oh, we got void opals. Okay, that trick alone just made it so much easier. Because first of all, you extend your field of view. I mean, I know you don't have all the clutter. I mean, you don't have... I mean, we can even make it even better with just a little bit of a clever... Did you see the question? Sorry, no. What question? Let me scroll up a bit. Was it who asked? Oh, here we go. When do a man plan to community mine? If you refer to what I mentioned in Hello Dave, I haven't put a date for it yet. There's still some... let me begin to prospect also. Break this one from below. There's still some things I need to figure out. Like... How do I prevent people from cheating? That's my main concern here. Because for an event like that, I will make sure that there will be prizes on the line. So I have to ensure that there is at least some kind of insurance that people don't cheat. I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make sure all the miners is gonna be in this character's private group because it's pretty much empty. So the people would sign up beforehand and then they would get an invite to this private group and then all would meet up, depending on how many miners it is. Either in one or two. Either in one or two instances, and then we make sure that we have ships with manifest scanners, that all the ships will be manifest scanned before they leave the station. And then at a certain time... oh, hold on. Oh, and then you get the sound delayed when you go in again. Wait, but anyway. So I would manifest scan all the ships before they leave, or have several people in multiple instances manifest scan them. And then we would send people out mining. So say that when the clock hits 21:30 in game, you are allowed to leave, and then people would leave. And whenever they came back, so basically the idea was they would go out, they would begin their mining trip. They would have 1 hour to bring us back as many void opals as they can, and whoever brought back the most void opals would win. Now, I think the way you would do it was just simply having people sell it at the station, but I would have to ensure that people actually sold them, so I don't have like people showing the I'm selling screen, and then they take a screenshot, send it to me, and then they only sell half of them, head out, fill up half their cargo hold again, and then come back. Because I don't want to have to manifest scan them on the way out of the station, because that's going to be where there's going to be a lot of rush going on there at that point. If people are going for multiple trips, I don't know if people would do that. We could discuss tactics in a bit. But manifest again, you see, I could manifest again, but I don't want to have people stop. After I said go, people should just be able to go without having any interruptions. Having to manifest scan them is not ideal. So what I could have, I can't remember how much info is actually on the cell screen, but it could be that people show me a screenshot of their wallet inside the station, inside the specific station we're in, where we can see their wallet, how much they have. Then they show a screenshot of the cell screen, and then their wallet afterwards. Maybe we can boil that down to just 2 of them, 2 screenshots, but something along those lines. Yeah, I definitely think having a screenshot of the balance could do it, and then it's just whoever brings back the most void opals after the 1 hour mark. And if 2 ships bring back the same number of void opals, we would just look at the timestamp of the screenshots, and whoever brought them back first would then be the winning ship. But I'm thinking that should be safety precautions enough. The only way I could see people could cheat would be if there were 2 people who know each other in real life who both signed up for the event, and they would then work together to make sure that one of them would win. That's the only way I could see people, but that's kind of like match fixing, I guess. So there are some things that still need to consider regarding how we're gonna do this and the whole logistics around it, and I need to gather prices and all that stuff. But for a much more immediate event, it was also suggested to do a was it that you, Dongle, or someone? I can't remember who, but someone suggested doing a demolition derby with sidewinders. How about stream the thing but without voice? Yeah, but that means that I would have to have some people sitting and watching those streams, because while people are out, we of course can switch between the different streams so we can see what people are doing. But I would have to have someone who was actively watching the stream so we could actually see what was going on. I think that's a little bit too much logistics. I want to try to see if we can keep the amount of people needed to actually manage the event at a minimum. What are you doing? Are we? Oh. Yeah, like we might have to do it with like moderators whose job is. But then again, then it requires that people can actually stream the game. And what if they have like a shitty computer that can't stream? Or not that it would be. If they don't have a streaming capable computer, then we get into an issue with that. Because some people are playing on like laptops, and they might have a hard time streaming from a laptop. And I don't want to exclude people because they don't have good enough hardware to live stream. And then there's also the whole hassle around, well, if you're not a live streamer, if you don't live stream normally. Hold on, I need to put my pips over there. You would have to set all that up. So there's a lot, suddenly it's a lot more complicated as soon as, because I still have my cargo hold open.
Cargo scope retrieved.
I probably could have done that from inside the... But that's some of the things that I'm trying to avoid, trying to make it as easy for people to join up. I would have to have people send me link to their builds, because that's probably some of the things I would be doing while people are out mining. That would be looking at the builds people have brought and try to talk about them, see what kind of tactic they're using. Having them on friends list might also be a good idea, so we can see where they are and if people are coming back.
Programming mission drone. Cargo hold at maximum capacity.
Wait, what?
Prospector limpet engaged.
Let's just abandon, I don't know,
Complete.
that many. So I have definitely been considering it. I think it could be a ton of fun. Question is if I can make it entertaining to watch. I think it's going to be fun for the people involved. But I also need to... oops, that was the wrong button. I also need to make sure that it's actually entertaining to watch the event. If we're going to live stream it. Otherwise, I might just do it without live streaming it. But I think, again, having it as a public live streamed event is going to attract a lot more attention. I don't think necessarily there's going to be multiple commanders per wing. Oh, look at that one there. Yes, I do have a ship built for this. I'm going to post it again later. Right now I just want to find the next rock we can blow up so we can get a proper... I forgot to go into external camera mode with the last one, but I think we have one here. Yeah, the rings are big. But what I think is interesting is, do you just go for the closest ring, which might already been mined dry? There might not be that many. Or do you go for a ring slightly further away so you have longer travel time? But you have a higher chance of getting cores, maybe, if you go further away from the main station. Also, what kind of ships are people gonna bring? Are we gonna go for... Are you gonna gamble and go with something maneuverable like a crate and then skip... Oh, low temperature diamonds. And then skip on the cargo hold and then hope you can either make 2 trips... either make 2 trips, or you're just gonna hope that 1 trip's gonna be enough to win the event. There's a lot of considerations that you need to take. There's actually there's a lot of tactical elements in this. Okay, let's get this thing ready to blow.
Detonation sequence initiated.
We have one here. I mean, I could see people for a only 1 hour mine. I could see people bring something like a crate, right? Because a crate would be very. Oh. I love that. The whole trick, I guess, is to make a build where you have only enough cargo. I think that's gonna be what would be the most effective. To have only enough cargo that you can fill it up in exactly 1 hour. But again, because there are so many tactical things you need to think about, I want to give people some, like, a decent amount of time to prepare for it. So if people want to build a purpose-built ship, they have a chance to actually engineer it. If they want to do that. So I think the next event we're going to do is probably going to be some kind of demolition derby. Just because. I think it was Lord Wall I was talking with about doing the demolition derby. Basically, people get sidewinders. It could be stock sidewinders, maybe only with... I think stock sidewinders would be fine. Only that no weapons allowed. Oh, cargo hatch.
Cargo skill deployed.
But we have to do it... okay, we have to do... Sorry, I just lost the focus there for a bit. If we have to do a demolition derby in sidewinders... what we were talking about then was to go and... everybody request docking at a station. And then everybody flies into the station, and then the demolition derby begins. And basically you try to ram each other to death, and people will be able to, like, spectate from the landing pads. No weapons, of course. And problem is, I'm afraid if we do it inside a station, the idea of doing it inside a station is to have a natural 10-minute counter that would prevent people from from the match dragging out. I mean, if somebody hasn't killed each other in 10 minutes, then they will be killed by the station when their docking timer runs out. But if you ram someone inside the station, you're gonna get a fine or get wounded, which is not something you want to do inside a station. Okay, let's move inside this thing here.
Collector limpet expired. Programming limpet drone.
But yeah, definitely plenty of ideas for events coming up. And I know I haven't been doing a lot of those community events lately, or community, whatever you want to call them. Community events kind of already taken, I guess, in Elite, that term. But I haven't been doing a lot of events with people from, like, around the channel, the community around the channel. And definitely want to do more of those. Okay, there's something up there killing the... Oh, there's a rock right there, okay. And especially with the demolition derby, we might have to do a test beforehand, just to ensure that crime and punishment is not gonna come and ruin the day. An SRV demolition derby. Okay, see if we can find the next rock. Let's get the camera into position. Like so. Yeah, SRV, I mean, all the high G planets and SRV canyon jumps, I've done that so many times. I want to try new types of events. I think I like the idea of a Sidewinder demolition derby. Oh, can I? Okay. Can we actually hit this? Oh, I think I got it. Okay, we don't get that fancy graphic showing us if there's cores in it, but there is. And it's Alexandrite. Okay, you know what? Let's just use whatever we can find here. That one, what do we have here? Average, that's gonna get a high charge. And what do we have here? Another average, could put a low charge at that. And what do we have here? Average. You get a low charge. And you are also average, you're gonna get another low charge. Just gonna keep using low charge now until it's done. Which it is there. And I have to remember to get into external camera mode this time. Can get it. Like so. Let's rig this thing and get it ready to blow.
10 seconds.
What do we have if I go closer? That actually didn't look so bad. I was imagining I would be able to see a small... when the model switched from being a solid asteroid to the broken up asteroid. Still hear the rumble from the explosion.
Liquid drone error. Deploy cargo hatch. Cargo scoop deployed.
Shooting all the fragments. But I feel like I'm beginning to get a pretty good feeling for the ship. It's definitely not as nice as my Clipper, but it's not a bad ship. I mean, you can definitely do some decent mining in this thing. Out of my way. See if we can't see some of the surface fragments from this angle here. We can. that yaw speed. Oh god. Go. Nice. Didn't think I could get it from that angle. Okay. We have just a few more. How many tons do we have? We have about 100. That's okay. Again, it's not been the most profitable or the fastest mining trip that I've ever done. But that was never the point. Oh, did I get that link on Discord? I did get a link. Okay, gotta have a look at the build here afterwards once we get back to the station, which I really hope I still have open somewhere. Oh, I do here. Let me just let's collect the last things. Oh, let me get chat back here. There we go. I think we're gonna head back after we collected the last few fragments. I know we're not full at all, but for a test, this should be good enough. Also interesting to see here. My trade rank. I'm currently broker. See how far we can get. So just refresh our memories what the trade ranks are. So the trade ranks are penniless, mostly penniless, peddler, dealer, merchant, broker. So we are rank 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And after that come entrepreneur, tycoon, and then elite. And I think after this trip, I'm probably gonna end up... My guess is about halfway into entrepreneur, so the next rank. Okay. Let's see how far we have. Oh, not that far at all. It's 2 jumps. Nice. Now we haven't actually checked this, so I just hope the intel is good. And that these actually sell at that station, otherwise we'll have to go and find another one. And I don't know how much we're gonna make. 100 tons. We're not quite gonna get 1 million a piece, I think. Gonna get slightly lower, so we're probably gonna end up making like 70, 80 million maybe. We do get a few void opals. Only 12. Most of it is granite and alexandrite, which I believe only sells for... hopefully we can get... Is it 3 jumps? It must have been 3 jumps. I think we're only gonna make 70. Only gonna make 70 million. Jamir is still fine. Good, thank you. Sierra, thanks a lot for the pledge on Patreon. Wow, awesome. Welcome. Sierra? I think it was Sierra. Yeah, there we go. Gonna have a look at the build here in just a second. Gonna try to put these up side by side so we can have a look at them. Over on Twitch, sorry, that's actually quite a while ago. Just notice it now. The deep coloroid shape reminds me of the never-ending Godstopper from the first Willy Wonka movie. That's how I find them. Whatever works. Let me see. We need to find the right station. Are we in the right system? We are. There it is. Is Powell okay too? I actually didn't look up the prices on Powell. But this one should be okay. That was at least the one that was listed in on Inara. So I hope this one is okay. And we're doing a quick loop of shame. There we go. Still coming in a little hot, so we're gonna dive a little bit into the gravity well on the planet. Use that to slow us down, not too much. Just enough that we're not gonna overshoot the station. And now we can go full throttle. Through the gravity well. Dived in. I always dive in too deep when I do this. Nope, there we go. Yeah, we could also do the spiral of death or the corkscrew maneuver or whatever you want. That works too. Gotta love gravity break. Chuchu says, oh, did not realize it was live. It's very much live. There we go. Oh, still have night vision on. Which way is front here? Oh, it's that way. Right? No. No, it's the other way. Wonderful.
Landing gear deployed.
And touchdown. Okay, let's start by getting all this stuff sold. So we have 124.5, and we are 85% broker. Let's go and sell this stuff. Sell. We got 500,000 for Alexandrite. Huge. Just 23 million.
Incoming
Granadite. That incoming message was probably me getting promoted in trade rank. Low temp diamonds. I'm not sure we're even gonna make 70.
Incoming message.
Maybe that was actually me getting, what it might have been. Oh, maybe we're gonna just make 70. Yeah, okay, it was actually pretty good. Way better than I thought. We're like 80 something, that's pretty good. And should we see where we're at on trade rank? Still, okay, so it haven't updated yet. It'll probably update if I relog. We'll do that in a bit. But let's have a quick look at these ship builds. Somebody said they made a optimized version. I would love to see that. Let's see here. No, don't do that. There we go. Okay, let's get this over here so you guys can follow along. Here we go. Okay. One on the left, that's the build that I'm using now. Let's see here. First of all, you're cheating. You're using engineers. We're trying to build something without engineering. I'm just gonna... I know that this is just fast engineering. Looks like it at least. Grade 5 on the thrusters. And then probably... Whoops. Probably grade 3 on the... Also grade 5 on the sensors. Does Faster do 5 sensors? I don't know. I'm just going to remove those to make a fair comparison here. You downgrade your power distributor. It's an interesting choice. Are you sure you can perma boost? Nah, that isn't Faster only. I don't think so either. The reason why I've gone with an A-rated power distributor is to ensure we can perma boost. You might be able to downgrade it to a 5.7D and still perma boost, which is probably also something I would try to recommend if you really try to save money on the builds. But again, it's 10 million. I want to try to shave down prices. I don't know what you're at in terms of price. That's actually pretty cheap. So I might recommend for the final build to try and shape down the price. But we can see the main stuff is from the power plant. And we don't really have a lot of headroom. So if we could free up some power, that would be great. Thrusters. Now, thrusters was one of those when I was looking at the ship on paper that I would definitely recommend to downgrade. Now, after trying this out in the actual game, I would not recommend downgrading thrusters. I know they're expensive. But damn, I would not want to downgrade those. You seem to go with a very, very, very weak shield, though. So I guess the approach that you've gone with here, I mean, sure, if you want to go without any kind of... if you just assume you're never going to actually use your weapons, then this would be just fine. But if you get caught out by a pirate, you have nothing to defend yourself with. But just for fun, I'm going to try to remove my weapons. And I would say if we were to do one that wasn't really focused around combat, I think this would definitely be a better build. If you don't want to have any ability to fight, then this is definitely a better option, because then we can downgrade your shields. One thing, though, that this build is missing is a fuel scoop. You will need a fuel scoop. Look at this. Your total laden range with full cargo is only 100 light years. That means you have to be able to fly a station and a ring with only 100 light years, or 50 light years, or actually less than 50 light years from the station to the ring. Because if you have more, then you're just not going to have enough fuel, and you will have to dock somewhere along the trip, costing you valuable time. So I would definitely recommend that you implement a fuel scoop somewhere in the build. So in this case here, Yeah, see, okay, so what I'm thinking here is what you could do if you want to implement the fuel scoop. I mean, detailed service scanner, that's a must. Refinery, that's a must. Prospector, that's a must-have. And that's why I went with a... you could go with a... if you want the 5 there... Hold on, I could maybe try it with my own, because I like the idea of using a... because the 5, the fuel scoop is a little overkill. You know what I would actually probably do with this build? I would probably take that one, change it out for a... I would probably actually check that out for a 4A fuel scoop. And then a 5A collector limpet controller instead, to get that extra limpet. I would have run out of fuel tonight if I didn't have a fuel scoop. And again, if you went without the weapons and just went with that, that should give us plenty of power to downgrade the power plant. That might actually be a decent option. Can we go A-rated to keep that nice? Yeah, we can. Can we go 5A? Oh, we can't. But can we do something? Can we save a tiny, tiny amount of power somewhere? We can't go 5A. B. Yeah, if we go B instead, dropping us down from 24 to 21 kilometer range. Then we have enough power to keep this thing flying. I'm not so sure. I mean, you technically don't need the weapons. It's just a really nice security to have. The shields here will pretty much only protect you against the blast from the rocks. The shields I have on here will give you enough to survive a few hits. Hopefully enough so that you can get away, at least. And there's a good upgrade path, right? Upgrade the power plant, get in shield boosters, get some weaponry if you want to upgrade later on down the road. Exactly. If you have cargo, just boost away. Exactly. That's the whole point. Because even with that's one of the things that even when I had the build as I had it before with the shield boosters here, when all these were shield boosters, and I had the weapons, I still didn't feel like I had that I was comfortable enough to take on, like you saw in the beginning of the stream when we had 2 crates show up. I mean, I might have been able to take them down, but I'm not so sure about the effectiveness of the shields here. It's a little, I mean, 1,000 shields, oh sorry, 500 shield hit points, of course, but 1,000 effective hit points is okay, but you don't want extended fights. What about if you take a bi-weave reinforced fast charge instead of A shields? We're trying to build a ship without any engineering. This is why I'm going with this build here. This should be good enough to give you enough time to get away from an attack. You probably can't engage, but you can definitely get away. And we shaved like 40 million off the price, which is also really, really nice. Definitely don't need that big fuel scoop. Smaller fuel scoop is definitely enough. That's one of the learnings from today. And upgrading that to 3 collector limpets, because if you noticed, we spend a lot of time waiting for our collector limpets every time we blew up an asteroid. So going with a bigger collector, I think having 2 5As is a little overkill for the build. I know it's really nice to have, but Oh god, I don't want to downgrade those shields, because I want to be able to get away in case I get interdicted. You have to remember the build is designed for newer players. If they get pulled out by NPC, we need to make sure they have enough shields they can get away. Which is why I'm not too keen on the 4D shield generator. I really want to keep that 5A. And if you really, really want to cheap out, then you can downgrade this to like a 6A or 7D. But again, it's not, I mean, it's 97. Yeah, you save a few million credits, but I would probably stick with the A. It's not that expensive. The most expensive modules you can see here, it is still the thrusters and the ship hull itself. That alone is, what, 70 million out of the 100, so that's like, yeah, about 70% of the price, so that's where the majority is. Jimmy says, I'll say downgrade the shield generator. I really don't, I mean, I want to make sure there's enough shield that this thing can survive an attack. That's what I'm afraid of. Could lose cargo space. Yeah. Then I would rather downgrade the shields. Biweaves. The trick with biweaves are they are good for extended fights. What we're trying to do here is just survive for long enough that we can get away. If we were doing a build that would actually have weapons on it and we were designed to actually go stay and fight, then biweaves might be a good option. Because then we're actually designing the ship to fight and we can work on the resistance with engineering and that kind of stuff. But because we're just doing a build here that's not designed to fight, it's just designed to go and shoot at whatever. Not shoot, but run away from whatever is shooting at us. Some people would upgrade the shields even. Yeah. We could play with that. What would happen if we... I'm just going to minimize this. There's some good inputs, actually, on that build. What would happen if we went 6A shields and a 5E cargo? We would lose 32 tons of cargo. We'll definitely improve our shields, but we're probably going to... Oh, wow, that's close. Ha! Yeah, no engineering. That's the whole trick. We're not allowed to use any engineered modules. That's the whole point of this build. Clipper or Asp Explorer for mining Clipper. No doubt about it. Yeah, but again, the no fuel scoop is just... I mean, it just limits the ship's capabilities so much. It's really... I mean, having 100 light years is just too much of a pain for me. So that's why I really want to... I think maybe this... I mean, you could swap those two around. You could go with 5A shields and then an extra to get a little bit extra cargo. This is also an option. 160 tons of cargo is definitely also very, very decent. And we can just fit it in terms of power. No, there's no Class 2 abrasion blasters. This is still a 1D. The subsurface missiles have always been Class 2, or medium-sized. Yeah, 1 abrasion blasters should be plenty. Everything else just luxury. And we're so tight on power right now that yeah, the only one that has 1 and 2 is subsurface, that's right. Time to drain weapon capacity with all weapons firing and 4 pips to weapons. Infinity. Nice. Lower thrusters? No. No. I've been flying this thing around for about an hour now, and I would not recommend downgrading the thrusters. I would actually recommend that's one of the first thing you engineers on this thing. Because, oh my god, they need an upgrade. Thrusters and frameshift drive. So the first thing I would do was I would go to Farseer. Let's just quickly check Farseer here. I can't remember which levels he just thrusters to. Just a grade 3, and you also got just grade 3 sensors. So what I would recommend for the first engineering is you go 3 dirty drive drag drives. You go, whoops. Latent 15, okay. You go increase range and mass manager, yes. And sensors, you go 3 here. Those are all stuff you can get from Farseer. And that boosts you up from 15 to 25 light years of jump range. And it boosts your boost speed up. Look at that, to 450. That is very... that's very respectable. This is what you can get with Farseer. What else does she do? Anything? Sensors, detail surface scanner. Yeah, we could do that. But it's not that important because we're not really mapping planets. I actually do power plants, but... oh, we actually overpowered now. So we have to also get a... level 1 overcharged power plant. Is that enough? Oh, wow. Was that level 1? Plus 12%? Okay. But all of these modifications you can get just from unlocking Farseer, which is going to improve the ship drastically. And it doesn't require much in terms of materials. It's fairly straightforward to get. You could go armored one. Yeah, I'm not sure how much that's going to affect the mass, though. 4%. That's also enough, yeah. And it's going to have basically no effect on the jump range. So going armored one or going overcharged one will both work. Armored one, of course, giving better efficiency, so don't overheat us as much, but... I would definitely say this is a solid option. You know what? I'm actually gonna go and post this link to you guys in case you are interested. Post it there. Post it there. And I'm probably gonna use this as a template to when I make the final build. But I think that I'm gonna call it here for today. It was a good little test, and I really hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for all you guys who've been watching today, and a huge thank you to all you guys who've been sending out donations as well. And thanks for all the good input you guys have given me to the live stream, so we can get a little bit more optimized on the build. Oh yeah, and just a quick comment here in the chat says, I know this is for new players, but a 4A Guardian power plant is very cheap. True, but again, I don't want to put Guardian stuff on it since this is designed for newer players. yeah, so that is probably gonna come out, this video, at some point. I might want to do these changes and take the ship out again and give it a go and see how that then performs. But again, I'm going to do a full build guide on this. I am also doing the guide on the diamond cutter, which is going to be the next build guide that's going to come out. Hopefully sometime next week, so we can get that thing out of the way. Next scheduled live stream, of course, is going to be next week, same time, Tuesday, 8 o'clock in-game time. I hope you'll drop by. What I'm going to do, I have absolutely no idea about. I guess I'll see when we get there. I may also put a live stream up during the weekends. I don't know. I'll see about that. But anyway, I really hope that you'll come by the live stream next week. Until then, you are more than welcome to drop by the YouTube channel, where there's a lot of great videos. Also going into a lot of details about mining. I have a full advanced miner's guide over there, like a 3-video thing where I spend like 20 minutes almost per video going into like a lot of details with like all the equipment, how to find a good mining spot, how to locate mother lode once you're in the belt. There's a lot of good info if you're more interested in mining. But I think that's going to be it for today. Thanks a lot for watching. If you're on Twitch, go down and hit the follow button there. If you're on YouTube, go and hit the subscribe button. Give the stream a like if you haven't done already. And I hope I'll see you guys in space.